So I've posted this video 2 times already, and this cop has complained to YouTube twice and got my video taken down. The second time, they said that it was a violation of terms and service. I got no strike, no warning, and no ability to appeal the video being removed. It was just taken down. I'm gonna post it again, and again, and again, and again. This began in Wheatfield, a quiet town in Niagara County. Daniel's friend lives at the end of a cul-de-sac there and noticed something odd. For 7 years while he's lived in this neighborhood, he'd rarely seen a sheriff's patrol car. Maybe 3 times total. But recently, that has changed. Every Thursday night between midnight and 1 a.m., a patrol car started driving down his street, sometimes with its lights off. Daniel decided to investigate. On the 10th week, Daniel parked in his friend's driveway to observe. Sure enough, right on schedule, a Niagara County sheriff's cruiser rolled through. Driven by Captain Matthew Grange. The following week, on week 11, Daniel followed Grange to understand why. He saw Grange pull over in Stone Ridge. Daniel stopped behind him. Grange moved to Shawnee Road and pulled over again. Daniel followed. Then Grange turned on his lights and initiated a traffic stop on Auditing Erie County.
Person banging on the caller's garage, making noises over the last half hour. Last heard 5 minutes ago. Caller would like an interview and believes that they are headed.
Hello. How are you?
Doing? I'm alright.
You have a license for me, please?
I do. What do you want being pulled over for?
You're being pulled over because in that neighborhood over there, I pulled over, you sat behind me, then
Yeah.
I drove away, then you pulled it.
Is that illegal?
Again. Yeah, man, you're following me around. I'm trying to understand why.
That's not illegal though.
I'm trying to understand why you're following
I'm
me
filming you.
around. I understand that I'm filming you as well.
Alright.
Why are you
It's not
behind
illegal.
me?
That's not a reason to pull me over.
During the stop, Grange approached Daniel's vehicle and asked why he was being followed. Daniel explained why he was filming, a right protected under the First Amendment to record public officials in public spaces. Grange first called it suspicious, but when Daniel pointed out that following someone isn't illegal, Grange shifted his reasoning.
Well, okay, then I'll go with your obstructed view right there, the stickers on your back window. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but I'm trying to understand why you're following me through neighborhoods.
I'm not. I was sitting there seeing you. I've decided to film you.
Okay, why is that?
Because that's what I do for a living. I
That's
film
what you
police.
do for a living?
Correct.
Does that pay well?
Pays good enough.
He cited an obstructed view, dice hanging from Daniel's rearview mirror, made by his late grandmother, and stickers on his back window. Grange demanded identification and shined a flashlight in Daniel's eyes and cell phone, claiming it was for officer safety since Daniel had a phone pointed at him.
Yeah. What's your first name, man?
I'm not answering any questions.
Well, you're operating a motor vehicle on New York State highway. You have to identify yourself.
No, if I'm suspected of a crime and riding a motor vehicle is
you got an obstructed view right there, my friend. That's an obstruction.
You're talking about these dice my grandma made me? My dead grandma?
Unfortunately, that's a violation of the vehicle and traffic law. If you're trying to push it that way, that's the reality of it. So just trying to get your identification, seeing as you're now being pulled over by the police for a legal stop, you have to identify yourself. That is the law.
If I'm going to be arrested for not identifying, I'll give you my license, no problem.
You have to identify yourself. That is the law.
So if I don't give you my license, you'll arrest me?
If you choose not to identify yourself, then that's going to make things a lot harder for you.
I'm asking you, if I don't identify myself, am I going to get arrested?
You can.
I can, or I'm going to, because there's a difference.
Well, it depends, right?
It depends on what?
I'm trying to give you every opportunity here.
Every opportunity to what?
To cooperate and give me your
license. I told you why I'm following you, because I was filming you, and that's not illegal.
Correct,
it's not illegal
but it is suspicious. It's 1 in the morning, it's midnight, whatever time. It's actually 2 in the morning. No, it's 12 midnight. It's 12 midnight, man. You can't be following people around like this. I
can follow a police officer around and film him, correct?
Sure, but if a police officer is driving through a neighborhood and you pull up and sit behind them on the side of the road, then they drive into another neighborhood and you come up and you sit behind them again, that is suspicious, and that's an officer safety concern. Suspicious
is
I'm not going to argue with you. You need to identify yourself.
If like I said, if I'm going to get arrested for not identifying myself, I will produce you my license. But if I'm not, I do not wish to waive my Fourth Amendment rights.
Daniel asked a direct question. If I don't identify myself, will I be arrested? In New York, drivers must provide identification during a lawful traffic stop. But Daniel wanted to know, was this stop lawful, or was Grange reacting to the camera, or being followed? Grange wouldn't give a straight answer, saying that it depended, and urging cooperation.
So I'll make it real simple. I have a license. It's right here. I do not consent to any lawful search and seizures.
You are obligated.
If you have the right to take it, go ahead. It's right there.
You are obligated to identify yourself because you're being pulled over.
I'm not refusing it.
You can hand me your license.
I'm not refusing it.
Be an adult, please, and hand me your license.
So if I don't give it to you, I'm going to be arrested?
Hand me your license. You are obligated by law to identify yourself.
And what happens if I don't?
Joe, don't go this route.
Joe?
Yes.
Why you call me Joe?
Because your name is Joe.
Is it?
Your Bluetooth connection says Joe. Your name is Joe. And I'm going to guess
that's calling me.
Correct?
That's Joe calling me.
Hand me your license, please.
It's right here. I'm not refusing to give it to you.
Hand me your license, please.
I do not wish to give my Fourth Amendment rights. I'm not going to
touch your wallet. I'm asking you to hand me your license. You have to identify yourself. You're driving a motor vehicle.
It's as simple as this. I don't wish to waive my Fourth Amendment rights, and I'm not giving you my license.
But your Fourth Amendment rights. You're operating a vehicle in New York State. You're obligated to hand your license.
If I am suspected of a traffic violation.
You are. Obstructed view right there. Your stickers on the back.
Sticker on the back.
Those are all violations of vehicle and traffic law.
Behind my seat.
Those are all, I'm just telling you the facts, man. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just telling you the facts. Those are the facts.
Daniel didn't consent to a search, but allowed Grange to take his license from the consul to avoid escalation. Grange ran the identification, and Daniel overheard him tell another officer that he was dealing with an auditor, someone who records the police to ensure accountability.
It's right here. It's right here. Take it if you can. But I'm not giving it up on my own.
Is your license valid?
Of course it is.
Okay. This doesn't have to be as hard as you're making it. This is a very simple procedure here. You're being pulled over. There's a couple of violations of vehicle and traffic law.
In my eyes?
Yes, because you're shining your phone right in my face.
I'm shining a phone in your face?
Correct.
Is it bright?
And I'm doing it for my officer safety so I can see inside your car. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. It's not worth my time. It's really not worth your time. Okay? But I am trying to understand why you're sitting behind police cars on the side of the road. It is an officer safety complaint.
I told you.
How would you feel if someone was doing that to you? If someone was sitting behind you on the side of the road looking at you?
If I was a public servant, it's a constitutionally protected activity to do so.
Okay. All right. Hang tight for a second, please. This is Daniel Warmus. What's that? He's one of those auditors that they were warning us about.
10-8 and 29.
All right, Daniel, I'm just going to explain this to you very quickly, okay? Over in Stone Ridge, Obviously, we're checking neighborhoods, trying to make sure everyone's safe, everyone's home is safe, nothing bad's going on. When you come up behind me like that and I pull over and then you sit behind me.
Listen, I don't mind contact.
No, you're good, man.
But if you want to act like a jerk and start telling about stickers.
I'm just telling you, matter of fact, that's against the law. Matter of fact, anything hanging from your mirror like that obstructs your view, that's against the law. I'm not mad about it. I'm not writing you a ticket about it.
Look at these things.
I get it.
My dead grandma made these. They're sentimental. That's why they're there.
And I'm all for it, but I'm telling you that's why you're being pulled over. It's a violation against the law, okay? I'm not mad at you for having
That's not the reason you pulled me over, though.
I'm going to tell you the whole, this is what I was trying to tell you before you interrupted me. So let me finish so I can explain it to you, okay? It's very simple. All right, so when I'm checking the neighborhoods, you pull up behind me and you sit behind me at midnight, right? And then I leave, then I go down Shawnee Road, I again pull over, you again sit behind me, okay? Do my U-turn, I see you, your car, I see your issues with your car, your violations. It is what it is. Then you pull into another neighborhood. My concern is this. People pay a lot of money to live in this nice area of Wheatfield, want to make sure their houses are safe, everything is good. So if you're going through neighborhoods, but then you won't pass the police, or you won't see me, or you won't get near me, but you can sit behind me, right? That's kind of suspicious. So that's what alerted me to your car. You have violations, whether you like it or not. Those are beautiful dice. I'm very sorry about your grandma. That's great that you have those there to, sentimental value for her, but it is a violation of the vehicle and traffic law. I'm not going to write you a ticket for it because I don't think I need to, but I'm explaining to you why you're legally, lawfully pulled over and why you legally and lawfully have to identify being pulled over like this, okay? So it is what it is.
Then why wouldn't you commit to saying, yeah, if you don't give me your ID, you can be arrested?
Because I was trying to de-escalate with you and not get into an argument with you.
That's just, to me, listen, I obviously, you know who I am now because you ran that, and I'm sure there's a bolo out about who I am and what I do. You probably know about my YouTube channel, and I investigate police, and I didn't lie to you. I do follow police, and I do film police. And let me tell you, like, between me and you, I don't hate police, all right? For you to tell me you got to shine your flashlight in my phone because I'm shining in your face, like, there's no light emitting from my phone except for the reflection coming off your flashlight, right? The reason that I followed you today is because somebody from this neighborhood told me that for some reason a patrol comes through there on the same night, every night, around the same time, and sometimes they drive through the neighborhood without the lights on. That to me is suspicious. All right, you came through there, you patrolled, it looked like your patrol looked perfectly fine to me. But when I hear that a police is rolling around a neighborhood with no lights on, doesn't that sound suspicious?
So let me ask you a question. Why is it, I mean, I appreciate what you're doing, looking out for your friend right in the neighborhood, but police officers are always going through these neighborhoods because I don't know if you know this or not, but there is a lot of car break-ins in the town of Wheatfield.
And listen, I respect and I appreciate that you patrol the neighborhood. But I'm telling you, I would never have been waiting. I would never have waited to see what the cop's doing if I didn't hear and have video proof evidence of a cop rolling through the neighborhood with the lights off. Why would a cop roll through the neighborhood with the lights off?
Maybe there's a suspicious person in the neighborhood they're trying to sneak up on.
If you're patrolling and trying to show presence, wouldn't it make sense to have the lights on? I mean, that's why I'm concerned.
Daniel, but it doesn't always. Because if someone is in that neighborhood stealing from cars, going through people's cars, and you come in with your headlights, what do you think that person's going to do? They're going to duck behind the car. They're going to duck in between the houses. So do you want to catch the bad guy?
And I can appreciate that. I appreciate that you guys are out doing your job. I do.
I'm explaining it to you, right? That's why we're checking neighborhoods. We check neighborhoods every single night. So tell your buddy that lives in that neighborhood that he'll probably see a lot of sheriff's cars in the neighborhood, and they'll be checking the neighborhood because we're trying to make sure everybody's safe. That's a very nice neighborhood. This is a very nice neighborhood. We don't want anybody to be a subject to crime if we can prevent it. That's our job. That's what we do, especially on midnight shift. So when you come out behind me, like I just explained to you, and then I pull over to get out of your way, and then you stop behind me and just sit there, that to me is a red flag. That's suspicious to me, right?
I mean, ask you this. If I had no dice in my windshield or no stickers on my back window, you wouldn't have been able to pull me over?
Actually, by law, I still could, because to me, your activity right now is suspicious at this time of night.
Suspicious of what?
I just explained it to you.
Suspicious
right?
in itself isn't a crime.
Can I finish? You're in a neighborhood. You won't pass me, right? That is a type of suspicious activity, because if you were just leaving the neighborhood, wouldn't you have just gone around me and left? Or why are you then pulling into the next neighborhood over? How do I know that you're not going through cars? And I'm not saying that you are, but how do I know? So it is my job and my duty as a police officer to check and make sure that the neighborhoods are safe, the community is safe, okay?
This encounter is definitely raising questions, but the real mystery was Grange's consistent patrols in the neighborhood. He told Daniel he was checking neighbors for car break-ins, a known issue in Wheatfield, and that driving without headlights was a tactic to catch thieves off guard. Seems to be a reasonable explanation until you consider what Daniel discovered next. Captain Grange recently purchased a house on that very street. Was he patrolling to protect the community, or was he simply keeping an eye on his own property? The timing, every Thursday, midnight to 1 a.m., suggests a personal motive might be at play.
You're all set. I'm not writing any tickets. You have a good night, okay? We're all set. Daniel, get back in your car. Get back in your car, Daniel. Get back in your car, please. You have to get back in your car. You have to get back in your car, dude.
Come back to my car. I got a question.
Get back in your car, please. Daniel, please get back in your car. I'm not going to tell you again. Daniel, please get back.
Will you come back to the car and ask so I can ask you a question? Will you come back here so I can ask you a question?
This is not a debate. Please sit back in your car.
Will you come to the car so I can ask you a question? Will you please come back to the car so I can ask you a question? I'm getting back in the car. Will you please come talk to me? Please come back to the car.
Sit back in your car, please. Sit back in your car. You leave me on this for a few minutes. We also had a second vehicle pull up auditing us as well. I'll add in all the info.
Dude's fucking backing up and backing around. Like fucking what the fuck is... Can you believe that, fam? You try to back out of there and escape on us. Here we are in the middle of an investigation, and this guy's trying to impede our investigation onto this gang activity. 11 weeks in a row, every Thursday night between 12 and 1 o'clock, like clockwork. Very suspicious, and this investigation did come to a conclusion because we found out exactly why Matthew Grange is patrolling the neighborhood more. And the answer is... Matthew Grange bought a house on that street, which would explain why Matthew is now patrolling the neighborhood more than he normally would have. It's because he's visiting his house, not because he's patrolling the neighborhood, checking on cars to make sure they're not being broken into. The reason Matthew now patrols this neighborhood more is because...
My concern is this. People pay a lot of money to live in this nice area of Wheatfield, want to make sure their houses are safe, everything is good. Safe. That's a very nice neighborhood. Appreciate what you're trying to do for your friend, but also I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to do for your friend also and everyone that lives in that neighborhood.
Everyone in the neighborhood, fam? Or was he looking out for his neighborhood now?
This traffic stop triggered Daniel to investigate Grange's history. Daniel uncovered allegations that as a middle school student, Matthew Grange created and detailed a hit list targeting 6 classmates with plans that included teachers' schedules. 2 sources, reportedly school board members at the time, confirmed this notebook existed. Years later, Grange began his law enforcement career in 2011 with the Lewiston Police Department. Chief Previs, when asked, said that he wasn't aware of the kill list when hiring Grange and that Grange no longer worked there, now a captain with the Niagara County Sheriff's Department. Grange patrols these streets. Auditing Erie County confronted the sheriff of Niagara County at a public meeting event, asking if he knew about the kill list. The sheriff avoided the question, leaving it unclear what he knew. Daniel also noted discrepancies with Grange's own vehicle. No front license plates, a violation of New York's Vehicle and Traffic Law, Section 402, and possibly illegally tinted windows. These are the same kinds of infractions Grange cited to Daniel, raising questions about accountability and consistency for himself. Now, this investigation is definitely not over. Daniel has promised more evidence, including testimony from a school board member willing to come forward and speak on camera. What does this mean exactly? Well, it's a case study in public oversight. Daniel used his rights to question authority, revealing patterns and past actions that deserve scrutiny. So I'd like your input. Should residents expect regular patrols only when a sheriff moves in or on a regular basis? Does Grange's past change how we view his authority today? Leave your thoughts below, and if you have information about any of this, reach out to Daniel or Auditing Erie County. This investigation shows us why transparency matters, and it's up to us to keep asking questions because, let's be real, nobody else is going to. Thank you for watching. By the way, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it is the DirectD branded Smoker's Traveler's Kit. This is a glass blunt or a one-hitter with the DirectD logo on it, a hard case with the DirectD logo on it, and a Bic lighter with the DirectD logo on it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's available on outfitterfreedom.com. The link to that website will be in the pinned comment and the description of this video. Definitely go get yourself one of these. Every pothead needs a DirectD smoker's kit. Trust me. You're not cool unless you have one.